Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Tanya Denise, and you are inside Sacred Silhouette with Tanya Denise. I am so glad you are here. Welcome to the month of December. This is my second upload for the month, so I will continue to upload as the Lord leads me because I know that this time is kind of difficult for my single ladies. If you don't have anyone that is in your life at the moment. So, God has sent me here to give encouraging words, prophetic words, whatever He lays on my heart to deliver to you during this month. I am here to do it, okay? So today I have a song and I have a Bible verse. So please get comfortable, grab your notes. I want to say if any of this resonates with you, please take it back to God. Please test my spirit with the Spirit of God, right? And so we're going to go ahead and get started. So the title of this is going to be Until You Come Back to Me, and then this time is permanent. So I'm going to say who this is for just in case you may be like, let's see what this is about. So this is for the ladies, women of God, that God has really told you that He's told you who your kingdom spouse is or your God ordained spouse is, and it hasn't been looking like anything has been happening lately. You've been in contact with this person, but however, there's been a separation. So it doesn't have to be those that are just been single and they know who this person is. However, it can be someone that was married to their God ordained spouse and maybe they got a divorce or y'all are currently separated at the moment, but God is still telling you, like, look, I'm going to bring this thing back together. So this is someone that you've been in contact with before. It's not anyone that you haven't met or that you haven't had contact with. So you two have had contact, and there has a separation has happened. And it doesn't matter if it's been like a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, however many years you all have been separated, God will bring this thing back together. So this is who this is for. And another thing, how um that may resonate with you is you've been in contact with this person and you have been the one that would initiate contact most of the time. 95% of the time, God will lay something on your heart for you to send to this person, whether it's just a good morning or a prayer or like a word of encouragement, maybe some affirmations or something like that, just to help them along their way. And it would get to the point where you would feel like, God, why am I doing this? Like, why do I have to be the one to reach out all the time? Why are you laying it upon me to say something? I want to get a good morning text sometime. I want to be checked on sometime. And so, um, God used you to plant the seeds into this person. And so now you are getting ready to reap the harvest. Come on, Holy Spirit. Now you're getting ready to reap the harvest of the seeds that were planted months ago, years ago, you know. So have a seat, grab your notebook, get comfortable because this one may take a minute because, like I said, I have a song and I have the Bible verse, and then we're just going to flow with Holy Spirit. So let's see. The name of the song that was given to me was Until You Come Back to Me. That's What I'm Gonna Do by Aretha Franklin. And so I will try my best to remember to maybe pin the song in the comments um when this is over, when I after I upload it. So this song was written by Stevie Wonder, Clarence Paul, and Morris Irvin Bronax. Please forgive me if I messed that name up. But it was written, it was released in 1973. So once I read these lyrics, it will start to make sense of why this song is very important for the ones that I said this is for, meaning the ones where you planted the seeds. You would reach out all the time, and you may get a response, you may not get a response, you may have felt rejected, you may have felt like, God, why me? Why do I have to be the one? Why do I have to do this? Whatever. Okay, so let's start off with this song, and it says, though you don't call anymore. Wait, let me back up. So you would be the one planting those seeds, sending those messages, calling, just being led by God to do these things 95% of the time. Maybe that other 5% you got in your flesh, you just wanted to hear their voice. But God would have you reach out to them, and then He had you to stop, pull away, focus on God, and do the things that He's called you to do. So at one point, you would reach out to them, encourage them, and then God put this thing to a screeching halt, like, pause, don't do anything else. The seeds are planted. I got it from here. So now we're going to go into the song. So I forgot that part. So the lyric starts off by, and this is song is sung by Aretha Franklin. So it says, though you don't call anymore, I sit and wait in vain. I guess I'll rap on your door, tap on your window pane. I want to tell you, baby, the changes I've been going through. Missing you, listen you. So we're going to stop right here for a second. So they're realizing that you're not calling them anymore. You're not sending those text messages. You're not reaching out with those good morning, just thinking of you. I pray you have a wonderful day. You're not doing that anymore because God put that at a screeching halt. Like, okay, no more. That is it. So you ever heard that saying that absence make the heart grow fonder? Here it is. That pullback that God had you do is causing them to realize, like, wait a minute, she's not calling me anymore. And so they're kind of looking at their phone, just trying to see, like, well, is she going to text today? Is she going to call today? And so they're getting that urge to want to reach out, to want to come and tap on your door, or, knock on the door, or even maybe send you a message to be like, hey, are we good? Like, what's up? So I'm going to keep going. So the next verse says, it says, missing you and then listing you. Until you come back to me, that's what I'm going to do. Why did you have to decide? You had to set me free. Listen, that was God's doing. I'm going to swallow my pride. I'm going to beg you to please, baby, please see me. Baby, won't you see me? I'm going to walk by myself just to prove that my love is true. All for you, baby. Till you come back to me, that's what I'm gonna do. I believe that verse was self-explanatory. You had to set them free because God led you to do so. He told you to, hey, let it go. I got it from here. Next verse. Living for you, my dear, is like living in a world of constant fear. Hear my plea, hear my plea. I've got to make you see, I've got to make you see that our love is dying. Our love is dying. Although your phone you ignore, somehow I must explain. I'm going to knock on your door. tap on your window pane. I'm going to camp by your steps until I get through to you. I've got to change your view, baby. Till you come back to me, that's what I'm going to do. So, going back to this verse above, it says that although your phone you ignore, somehow I must explain. So, they're wanting to come back and explain to you, or maybe even apologize to you, and even maybe show you that they have changed. So, with that being said, is will you be able to embrace this person with open arms, or would you have an attitude or be in your feelings because it's been quite some time since you've heard from this person, and now it's like God has been working on them. God has been refining them, pruning them to get them to see that, hey, I have this person for you. And because God had you back up, and so now it's like that person is, their eyes have been open to like, wow, she was here the whole time. Like, how could I waste so much time ignoring her, or taking the relationship for granted, taking you reaching out for granted? And so now it's like, oh my gosh, I got to get her back. So until you come back to me, I'm going to sit outside. I'm going to knock on your door. I'm going to tap on your window pane. Now, it sounds a little stalkerish, but I don't want you to look at it this way now. I want you to look at it as they're in pursuit of you now. So if it gets creepy now, we don't want people sitting outside your house. We just talking about the song. So if you feel any type of way, make sure you call the police, okay? However, this is from God. So we are talking about those that are from God. Not no, we're not talking about counterfeit situations. Um and so just be open whenever they return. Um, there may be some, you may have to sit with God in order to till the fallow grounds of your heart. Maybe a hardness may have set in within you. Um, there may be some things that you need to forgive um, before this person returns to you. So I would encourage you to sit with God and ask Him to reveal if there's any unforgiveness in your heart towards this person before they return to you with intention. So it's going to be with intention. I was just joking about like sitting outside your house and things like that. But that was a part of the song. But I just wanted, this is just to show that they're going to be intentional about getting in contact with you. They're going to be intentional about showing you that they've changed, that, you know, they're missing you and that they want to be with you. And now they're finally wanting to walk in the purpose and plan that God has for both of you, right? So yeah, that is that song. Like I said, I'll put it in the comments whenever I upload this video. And so now I want to give you the verse that was given to me as I was getting this video together. So this is going to come from Luke chapter 15. This is in the Passion Translation. And so, of course, this is about the prodigal son. And so with the prodigal son, you know, the younger son, he asks his father for his inheritance. And so his father split the inheritance between him and his older brother. And he went out and he wasted the wealth. He spent it on prostitutes and living lavishly and all the things. And then he came to the end of himself, right? And so, in that, just even thinking about this story, the father did not chase him, the father let him go. And he had to get to that point where he had to come to himself. And so I'm going to read starting at verse, it looks like 18. And so this is kind of when he came to himself. So he's in a place that the younger son, the prodigal, is in the place, not, yeah. So the prodigal is in this place where he was working for a farmer, and he was getting ready to feed the animals or whatever, and he was like, I am out here eating pig slop or whatever. So I'm going to start at verse 18, and this is the Passion Translation, and it says, let me back up. It says, why am I here dying of hunger, feeding these pigs and eating their slop? Verse 18, I want to go back home to my father's house, and I'll say to him, Father, I was wrong. I have sinned against you. I'll never again be worthy to be called your son. Please, Father, just treat me like one of your employees. Verse 20. So the young son set off for home. From a long distance away, his father saw him coming, dressed as a beggar. And great compassion, did you hear this? Great compassion swelled up in his heart for his son who was returning home. So this is what I was talking about when it's time for this person to return to you. Make sure that you have compassion in your heart. So this is a time after you hear this, get with our Father and ask him to reveal anything in your heart of unforgiveness towards this person, and ask him to fill your heart with compassion. So when this person comes to you, you won't have an attitude. There won't be any bitterness, any unforgiveness, any wanting them to any resentment or disappointment, but it will be compassion, open arms, because you're going to be led by God to embrace this person. And so this is, let me go back to um, this is going to be still verse 20, but it's halfway. And it says, the father raced out to meet him, swept him up in his arms, hugged him dearly, and kissed him over and over with tender love. Oh, that is so sweet. So now you might not have to do all of that, but it's a more of not having that attitude, not having the hardness of your heart. You can put on your G face, you can put your straight face on, but be open to hear what this person has to say. Like, you don't have to climb all over them and be like, oh my gosh, baby, I'm so glad you're here. You don't have to do all that. But it's about being open, being receiving, being compassionate towards this person, because you don't know what they went through in their time of separation from you. And so God had you to send those encouraging words to them, even though it seems like it wasn't doing any good. Maybe they responded to you, maybe they did not respond to you when you were sending these things to them, whether it was through text message or voicemail or audio message. They may not have responded to you in at that time, but you don't know the impact that your words of encouragement could have had on them. So just remember, just because you don't see anything, it doesn't mean that what you said to them didn't have an impact. Just because you haven't seen anything, it does not mean that God has not been working, right? So this is your encouragement to get prepared, to be in preparation for when this person returns, that it won't be something to where you feel like they owe you something, or they got to do and jump through hoops and do tricks and take you out to eat and just do all the things in order to win you back. They're going to be in pursuit of you, but you don't want to be feeling like you're entitled to receive this, because that could be a form of pride. So be compassionate, be open, be loving, okay? Um and I think that's it. I think that's it. But I will say something I did highlight um in verse 15 was whenever I was talking in the beginning and I was saying that, you've been the one kind of reaching out, trying to keep in contact back then before God caused the pause for you to step back and let him finish the work, because one man plants, another man waters, but God gives the increase. Something I highlighted was after the younger son's return, the older son was working in the field, and he was asking the servant, like, hey, what's going on? Why is there a celebration? And the servant was like, hey, your brother is here. And your father, he was like, your father has, threw a party. And so the older son got upset. And so this is kind of how you were whenever you had to be the one to reach out and encourage and do all the things. And so in this verse, it says, never once have you, this is verse 29, Luke 15, verse 29. It says, the son said, Father, listen, how many years have I worked like a slave for you, performing every duty you've asked as a faithful son, and I've never once disobeyed you, but you've never thrown a party for me because of my faithfulness. Never once have you even given me a goat that I could feast on and celebrate with my friends as this son of yours is doing now. Look at him. He comes back after wasting your wealth on prostitutes and reckless living, and here you are throwing a great feast to celebrate for him. The father said to him, and I want you to hear this as like God is speaking directly to you. The father said, my son, you are always with me, by my side. Everything I have is yours to enjoy. It's only right to rejoice and celebrate like this, because your brother was once dead and gone, but now he is alive and back with us again. He was lost, but now he is found. So take this as his eyes has been opened. The man that God has for you, when he returns, you will know his eyes have been opened. This time is permanent. It's no turning back. And I know sometimes you could be so used to praying for a thing and hoping for a thing that when it finally shows up, you don't really know how to embrace it. You may want to side eye. It may feel surreal to you because you're so used to praying for a thing that you don't know what it feels like to actually have it. So this is your time to get in position, to have that heart posture of compassion and a tender love, and just ask God to reveal anything in your heart that is not of him when it comes to your God ordained spouse, when it comes to your kingdom marriage, okay? Your God ordained marriage. And just ask him to help you in being open and compassionate and loving when this person returns, okay? So it's like you both will have to get to know each other all over again, because so much has happened during the time of your separation. So it's not the old thing, it's a new thing, okay? So that is it for me. I am Tanya Denise. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that you take this word back to God, and that you even take me back to God and test my spirit by the Spirit of the living God. And that this confirms some things to you, that this brings you comfort, that this encourages you during this time, even though you don't see a thing. Just know God is working. You can view all things Sacred Silhouette in the description. Coaching calls are available. If you feel led to, please share this with someone that you think it may bless. All right, have a good one. Bye bye.